Hey guys, Nelson here with the Southern Mud Podcast. Guys, we have a new guest. It's our GM or manager down at Southern Mud Sports. Is actually at a temporary location in Loxley. And sorry about the camera. We had some audio difficulties and everything, so we're having to refilm this at a different location. So like to welcome Curt Pridmore. He's, man, we've been friends for a long time, and the stars aligned, and we had a perfect, need in a certain area, and he can definitely is definitely feeling that need. He is slinging some boats down in South Alabama. Let me tell you. I guess we can start. Tell them, I guess, a little bit how you got into the duck hunting. A lot of people want to know. I mean, everyone remembers their first duck hunt and what got them into it, whether it's a father, an uncle, or whatever. So, and I guess to you, it's you and your brother. I'm sure y'all were probably tied at the hip. But yeah, tell everybody a little bit about that and how that transpired.
Yeah, so me and Joe, my brother, we're about 10 years apart, so I got a little bit of a head start on him. But our father played a huge role in kind of getting us into the bug for that, being out in the outdoors. We did a lot of bird hunting growing up. I remember when I was, 3 or 4 years old, out in a dove field. I got to be the retriever for several years until I got big enough to shoot myself, and then we're allowed to, kind of do that. But we went from shooting a lot of doves to getting access to a property that had some beaver swamps on it. So shooting wood ducks. Grow up in the Carolinas, so not a lot of mallards, not a lot of big ducks unless you're I guess closer to the coast.
So like, how did y'all hunt over there? Like, tell people, because I've never hunted actually the Carolinas, but like, what does that consist of? I mean, because I know timber, I know coastal and stuff like that, but what exactly, how y'all hunting them?
Yeah, so I guess predominantly, in being towards the middle of the state, I grew up not too far from the Raleigh area. Pretty much, you find some land that's got a swamp on it that's maybe backed up by a beaver. Get in there, find the beaver with the hut. Usually is the open area in the flooded trees. Kind of circle the hut, and then just kind of play defend the swamp whenever the sun comes up. So as the wood ducks come pouring in, you find your three. Grew up trying to pick out the green ones, so even on the wood ducks. You're in and out, back home for breakfast. It's just a fun time. Quick shoot, very similar to a good dove shoot. So much different than what you're going to have. If you're hunting big flooded timber in Arkansas, or the good thing about North Carolina too is we do have a coastal region, so we have a different flyway out on the coast, and so much bigger water there. You're hunting big blinds, big spreads, diver ducks, that type of thing. So. Kind of growing up where I did, we were not too far from the wood duck swamp hunting like we have here in Lower Alabama, but also just a couple hours away from being able to go out into the coastal region and shoot some different type of big ducks. You get your widgeon and get a few your gadwalls and a handful of mallards, black ducks, that kind of thing out to the coast.
Oh, and y'all are known for the just remember the swans.
Yes, tundra swans. So
big. I've never gone and done that.
You can. It is one of, I think, 4 or 5 states you can draw a tundra swan tag. So talking about my brother earlier, he did draw one last year. And when it was able to harvest one. So it's on its way to the taxidermist now. We finally found someone down here that had heard of a tundra swan and could get a mold or whatever it is they use for the taxidermy. So it'll be about a year, probably just in time for the new building to open, so we can have that sucker hanging from the ceiling in the showroom.
That's right.
If you've never seen a taxidermy tundra swan, give us about 10, 11 months and come see us.
Or if you need to know where to go and how to get it and how to
absolutely
get your tundra swan, you and your brother can help them out with that too.
Walk you through the process.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess let's we tell them. I mean, I remember the first time I met you. You can kind of tell them a little bit about where we met or when we first saw each other. I never forget. I was editing video or photos or whatever or videos too when I saw y'all, but then really I realized it was you and Ben, another friend we'll probably have on here, of course. But you can, I guess, tell them about that and how we kind of got introduced.
Yeah, so I guess you and Ben went to high school together, knew each other from growing up. And when I moved, I worked in the insurance industry for, I don't know, almost 20 years. And kind of moved all over the Southeast. And I did a stop in Huntsville or outside of Huntsville for about, I'd say 2.5, 3 years. And I lived next door to Ben. And so Ben and I connected pretty quickly. He was just getting into duck hunting at the time, and I felt I was a pretty confident hunter coming from the Carolinas, only to find out that there's a whole big world of duck hunting out there that we had yet to explore. But we eventually got into, once we expanded beyond Swan Creek in Huntsville, we decided we were going to go out to Arkansas and shoot ducks out there. So we got the info on a WMA up in Northeast Arkansas, and started going out there kind of year over year. I think he would get there on a Tuesday before opening weekend.
So yeah, it's like four days.
4 days early, and then I would get off work. I was I did it one time there, and then I moved to Michigan. So then I would come down from Michigan. So he'd get there on Tuesday. I'd get off work on Wednesday or Thursday and make the 13-hour drive down from Michigan and meet him at the boat ramp.
And he would have. He had a whole truck set up. Like his life was this preseason, I guess journey or whatever you want to call it.
So he bought he got a full size Tundra, had a camper top on it. In the back of that thing was a military cot with a sleeping bag topper, a little mattress topper, sleeping bag. He had carpet in there, a little nightstand and a lamp. Like when it popped down, I mean, it had the sheets and the pillows, and Courtney definitely helped him decorate it. Yeah. He was luxury camping in the back of his truck, and there I was in the back seat of my F-150 with my 100-pound lab, trying to at least get a couple hours of sleep each night. But we did that for a couple years, and I remember seeing the Southern Light truck drive by, and when I think the second year we were there, Ben's like, I know that guy. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I was like, I hear they can make really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know a whole lot about it. I didn't have a boat at the time, so I didn't have any lights or anything like that. It turns out I think he reached out to you that summer over Facebook, and y'all kind of reconnected your friendship. And then the next year, I got there early. I was the one. It was my year to get to the ramp first, and so I was there. I think he was on his way in town and called and said, hey, I talked to Nelson. Come over to the house and. Forget that, sitting in line at the ramp and, racing everybody down the ditch in the morning. So I pulled out a line, and that I'd been there, I think, for a day and a half or 2 days.
Yep.
And everybody behind me was like, what are you doing? You're getting your spot back. I'm like, yeah, I know. So we ended up kind of coming over at the original camp, and, we looked at a map of the WMA. We were like, hey, y'all should go try here. So we said, yeah, let's do it. Next day we put in, and, we got on them pretty good. And I think it just kind of, snowballed from there. I came back and never left.
Ben and I think it was almost 20 years since graduating that all of a sudden we meet back, and that's real funny as y'all see all this come together, how all this is just going to connect, and it's just, it's beyond our control. I can tell you that. But it's really, really cool. Yeah, I remember, heck, y'all were hardcore just like me, and that's hard to find. You get your people that come up, and man, when it's good, everyone loves it. But when duck hunting's hard, you got to really, really love it to stay after them. And that's one thing. If I learned anything of all the years I've duck hunted, and I don't know, 25, 26 years, I didn't start as a kid. I didn't start till I was around 20 years old. So you can't predict any of it.
No.
It does not matter. Like if I had $1 for every cold front that I would rush and try to get there, and oh my goodness, this is the hardest freeze, and and then just nothing happens.
Yeah.
It is, and then you have a huge warm up, and if anything I've learned, man, the freaking warm up and the push back south and the reverse migration, that's about the most thing I've ever been able to bank on is a dang hot weather, exact opposite of what you think, and it's usually gonna. I don't know what it does to them, but they definitely change their mindset. But I remember too, we had a lot of dangerous experiences we have on the river. And
yes,
one thing, we talked about the life jacket earlier in the podcast. Like that's something's really important to us because kind of funny since then, and since that podcast, I have actually witnessed one of these life jackets in action.
Oh, yes.
And it does work. I was testing a boat, and the guy wasn't holding on, and accidentally fell out of the boat. But that thing, it comes on, and it doesn't come on. It doesn't explode immediately. It's rain's not going to activate it. It's really cool. But it's going to, if you're knocked out, it is going to explode, and you're eventually with the pressure, and it's going to, man, when it comes up, I mean, this guy was, he was floating. There wasn't no way not to float with that thing. So it was, it was good to see it in action. On the other hand, dumping somebody out of the boat, something that you never want to see, but, happened kind of accident and freak. But, y'all had a situation that, heck, it'd have been a lifesaver.
Oh, absolutely.
Luckily, it wasn't needed to be a lifesaver, but I guess tell them a little bit about what happened there. That was life changing.
Yeah, it definitely changed my life and my perception and perspective on the whole. We've been, like I said, pretty hardcore getting after them year over year over year, and you run boats real fast in the dark down winding rivers, and when you're younger, you feel 10 feet tall and bulletproof, and until something happens. And so we were hunting, and we'd been talking about props the night before, and Ben had his boat and had an old CA-57 that was nowhere near 12 inches in diameter anymore. And so I had a freshly worked 3-blade that I just had in my boat, because I'd had all my props redone at a shop near the house, and I was going to throw this one on there. It usually gets me pretty good speed. So it's like, okay. So running in that morning, I think we got up a little bit late, and we jumped in the boat, and I think you had left, and we're making sure we got to the hole we were going to, and then we take off down the river, and me and Ben and our 2 dogs, Abby and Max, and we get to the first turn, and he goes to turn, and he realized he's probably going about 7-8 miles an hour faster than he'd been used to going into that turn all week. Couldn't slow down. There was probably about a 3-foot riverbank.
It was ripping.
We had a ton.
Ripping. It had gone from 2 foot to, it was probably 8 foot at that point.
Yeah.
A little bit higher, it wouldn't have been a bad incident, because he'd have just gone straight on in the woods.
Right.
But yeah, it was ripping.
But yeah, between the new prop and the current ripping behind us, we were rolling, and we hit that, went to turn and didn't turn, and hit that bank, and the boat went straight up, nose first in the air, and I was sitting on the front deck, facing backwards. Probably not the best way to ride in a boat either when you're going through the woods. Learned from that experience. But I had a front hand view of seeing the boat go up. I grabbed a hold of the bow rail, grabbed my dog in one hand, watched Ben flip over the back transom of the boat, wearing waders, no kill switch, no life jacket. As soon as he pops back up, the boat slides back down off the bank, runs right over top of him. Curt was ripping. I had no idea where he was going to come up. Max luckily didn't. He was about to follow the boat. I got him back in and was looking around, and all of a sudden I see Ben come up and take a big gasp of air, and he was just in reach, and I was, I don't know where the strength came from, but I was able to reach around behind, grab his wader straps, and pull him and his waders full of water and slam him in the bottom of the boat. And as we kind of slid back off, and we're laying, the boat was in the water. We didn't sink it. It definitely wasn't a flotation boat, but there was a good 8-9 inches of water in the bottom of the boat. She was sitting low, and we were able to idle it back to the ramp and pull the plug and get all the water out of it. But that was probably inches away, and any direction of him taking a prop to the face, or a skeg to the face, or any part of the boat to the head. Get hung up under a log,
or just get knocked
anything.
out.
Get knocked out and swept down the river. There's trash and stuff
no
in the river.
getting them.
Yeah, you're gone.
That's
so it's from that point on. We bought our inflatable life jackets. We wear those every time we're running in and out. Make sure we're the first day in when we're running the river, we're taking our time, finding the stumps, finding the logs, finding the trees that have fallen over, things that are a little different from the year before. Making sure we make mental notes. We've come in and there have been trees across, and we've marked those on our Onyx, and we're coming up and get almost to that turn. We know to slow down because we have to make some kind of I don't want to say evasive maneuver, but sharp turn left or right, to kind of get through safely. So just making sure that we're taking the time to prep. make sure we've got everything we need. Because, as I've gotten older, I mean, I got too much to lose. I got a wife, I got a kid, I got, family, obviously running a business now. And it's, there's just too much out there to just,
yeah, I
hold on
can't
to make it worth it.
Man, I can't tell you how many times I've come, the day before, run the same run, clean river, you come around, that random, 200-year oak falls in, and I mean, you have no sight distance around the corner, and then you got a rushing river, so there's no way to stop, and then all of a sudden you're facing a tree. It doesn't take any time. You're sideways in the tree.
Yep.
Within, 3 seconds, your boat's underflipped and you're underwater, and you don't, in the pitch black dark, you don't know. That's why, I mean, these life jackets, in my experience, I've always liked the ones. I can't stand just a, life jacket. The self-inflating is huge to me, but every time I went to use them, they would be exploded. All, I guess you could say cheap self-inflated life jacket. Every time. What do? Who's going to go spend another $60, $80 to recartridge it, whatever it? Yep. You just fold it together, put it on, act like you're wearing a life jacket. These new ones, I mean, I don't care. I wear one every single day I'm in it, because it's always going to be, working. It's not going to accidentally deploy until the exact time's needed. So, I mean, over a year's time of a life jacket deploying, it might be expensive, but you're going to save money with this one not deploying. So to me, it's a game changer in the industry. I mean, when I'm at the boat ramp, man, I tell people, I was like, man, be careful, or, everybody try to help everybody. If you know something's down, make sure everybody you pass, you let them know, because there's a lot of lives lost every year. And I mean, heck, they're looking for any excuse to shut this stuff down and not open it to public because it's too dangerous. And we just all got to be really careful and, make sure we all help each other out and look out for each other. And
yeah, exactly. Communicate. We're on the same team.
Communicate. We're all on the same team, guys. We definitely are. So, I mean, heck, we've had a lot of cool hunts together. Any stick out in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, just one last year. I think we were hunting, and it'd been slow, and all of a sudden I think it was on the thaw, and we'd been talking the day before. I think y'all beat me there the day before, and you said there was a pretty good trickle of ducks coming off the fields. And that morning, I think the whole field got up at one time, and we looked up over the hole, and there was, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 mallards flying around, swooping through the hole, quacking. I mean, it was black.
Oh, I remember.
Back dots from horizon to horizon in all four directions.
Yep.
I mean, they were coming in, going out. I mean, I don't even think we shot. I think we just sat there and watched it in awe.
Called,
it just called and just messed with them, because it was so many. It was probably the biggest wad. I mean, I've seen some pretty big wads, but that was probably the largest.
Yeah, and that was almost like a statewide thing. I think we were in Arkansas maybe then, but I mean, it was, you start talking to your buddies, oh my gosh, you need to get here, or this or that. And they're like, no, it's the same thing here. Or it would be like the day after. So it was really cool. I guess it was some kind of migration, but it was a mass migration of birds moving through. And it was really cool to see, and then to hear and communicate with friends, and how it progressed through the state or across the country on how these birds were moving. It was really, really, really cool. Also, we had fun youth season this year.
Yeah, youth season.
Got to take the kids up to the camp, and it was exciting for them to, almost reignite that fire in us, to where, they're up at. I mean, heck, we could barely sleep before the opening day thing. We're out there at 2 a.m. at the boat ramp ready to launch, and kids are up at, I don't even know, 1:30 or something.
Oh yeah.
And they're just, I mean, it's crazy to watch the videos of how they are wired, ready to go. And we get out there like it's opening day, and man, they were so excited. And we get out there, and
there's nobody out there.
There's nobody.
But I mean, it was a big weekend there, or big couple of days there, because I know it was Wade's first time out there, and he got to kind of see, like, why does Dad like to come out here so much? Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
And then he had a couple buddies come with him, and you had your kids there too, and got to shoot some ducks, and several first ducks were, I think, shot that weekend, and got to ride the four-wheelers, and walk-in waders and flooded timber for the first time. A
Get
few of them
get wet
get
and
wet
all the
and fall
things they
down.
did. Yeah.
But we rushed out to the hole. We got there, right at 4 o'clock, broke the trees, following all the rules, and I think about 6 o'clock we heard the first boat come by.
Yeah.
So we were definitely there in plenty of time, and didn't have a whole lot of pressure, but they got to see the full experience. They were up at 2 o'clock or whatever time it was, pumped up, ready to go. I know on a school day, getting weight out of bed is not that easy. So
Right.
He was definitely excited.
Yeah. It was it was something I'll continue to do every single year. Arkansas changed a little bit so the out-of-state people could get 2 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It's been always split for so many years, and it's hard to get a lot of kids into it. And I think that's, that is the most important thing in my eyes now that, I've hunted. I mean, I love calling the ducks. I love, teaching people, watching them. I love shooting them too. But, the sport needs to open up to where we're getting more people in it, because I mean that's the most important thing is keeping it alive, keeping the funding. I mean, people, these anti-hunters always crack me up because I mean they've never spent a dime, trying to save an animal or anything
Right.
like that, and I don't even want to put a number on the amount of money I've spent in the hunting industry over my lifetime, but it is insane. So, it's all about bringing these kids up, everybody working together. You see some new guy at the boat ramp,
Mm-hmm.
man, there's nothing better to see some guy that's traveled 12 hours from South Florida or, 16 hours and is at a boat ramp, has no idea what he's doing. And he, you can go give him a little bit of advice.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, man, to learn that place, there was no Google Earth. There was no anything. We're out there canoeing, kayaking. I mean, it was just, people can't imagine what it took to find one hole or one good spot. And then the chances of somebody not even being there was even rarer. But, nowadays everybody can get on Google Earth. They're going to find every hole.
Yeah,
So
there's
there
no
is no
secrets
secrets.
No.
Go tell these people, give them a leg up. Go tell them some hole that everyone already knows or
Right.
something. Tell them to get there early. Give them some advice. I really would hate to know the true numbers. We'll never know the numbers, but just the people that are dropping out every year,
Mm-hmm.
and then how much are coming in. It's a lot fewer people in the duck hunting community than people even realize.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at license sales year over year; they're falling.
Yeah.
Not just Arkansas, but across the board from the data that I've seen. And yeah, I mean, if you've got room, take somebody with. There's nothing better than, I know, like when I brought Joe to Arkansas for the first time, and I was like, all right, if they come in, this is what they're going to do. And I think a 15, 20 pack came through right through the V in the trees where I told him, and hair on the back of his neck stood up, and birds started falling everywhere, and he just looked at me with this, like a kid on Christmas morning. I don't even think I shot. I just watched. There's no better feeling than being able to share that with someone, whether it be a family member, someone you're close to, friend, or just someone who's just as hungry for it as you are at the boat ramp.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess tell them a little bit about your store and what you're going to carry and everything, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Yeah, so store right now, we're on a little temporary lot. I think we mentioned that earlier, up in Loxley off the Gulf Shores Parkway, 26189 Gulf Shores Parkway in Loxley. Right now we've got just a little under an acre of land, so pretty selective with what we have in stock. But if you want something kind of one-off, we can try to get it. But right now we carry mostly Havocs. I've got orders of edges that have come through, Gator Tail motors, an occasional Gator Tail boat. We've got some Avids on order. Mostly 18 Commanders. That seems to be the boat of the year this year. I think we get 3 or 4 calls every day. So we've got those on order. They'll be here at some point in the future. But right now, it's really kind of what we got: MSTCs, DBSTs, edges, Tohatsu motors, and a handful of AODs on the lot there too. So. Me and Joe, he's doing the sales side of things. If you call, he's probably gonna be the one that answers it. I'm gonna be the one out in the carport doing the installs for right now. But we're looking to expand here in the next few months. And,
we're about to throw a building up.
Get a building up and go from there. But come see us. We'd love to. If you're down in the area or within a couple hours. I know we sell boats to Texas. I had one to go to Texas yesterday. Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Arkansas. I think that we've gone, and we've only been open since really running since probably March. So we're already kind of being regional and kind of getting into the nationwide.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, guys. So if you are anywhere along the I-10 corridor, along the Gulf Coast or anything, Curt's going to be your guy for Southern Mud. He can hook you up. He can deliver anywhere across the country, of course. If he's got a boat, go to the website. All that's going to eventually get completely updated, stay updated. But want to appreciate y'all for watching the podcast. You'll see a lot more of Curt. We're going to be doing stuff all over the country, hunting and introducing a lot of new products along the way too. But thank you. Y'all have a great day.